Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Driven Wyld. Today, we are talking about insurance requirements for Uber and UberEats. So one of the important details that every gig worker must have, and it doesn't even matter if you're really a gig worker or just a driver in general, you need to have car insurance. But in order for you to have car insurance that covers you on Doordash, Uber Eats, and Grubhub, there are certain things that you gotta know about. And Uber Eats, they're kind of on your business when it comes to actually making sure that you have auto insurance available to you. And that's not just for Uber rideshare, that's for Uber Eats as well. So with that said, I want to go over everything that's being said about insurance requirements for Uber and Uber Eats, what they tell you versus how it actually is, and everything in between. But before we do that, let's go over a quick disclaimer. The content of this video does not contain and is never intended to be legal, business, financial, tax, or health advice of any kind. This video is for entertainment purposes only. It is advised that you conduct your own research and consult qualified professionals before applying anything you find online. I also want to be clear that everything that we're going to be talking about in this video is very market dependent, and what applies to me in my market may not apply to you. So with that said, let's get started. Uber maintains automobile liability insurance on behalf of all U.S. rideshare drivers while logged onto the Uber app. As a ride-sharing driver, you're also required to maintain auto insurance that meets your state's minimum financial responsibility. So Uber has their own insurance that will cover you in certain situations, but you do also need to have your own. Every state's going to be different, but if you talk to your insurance company, they should be able to set you up with the proper amount in each area. Drivers who have a livery or limo business must maintain all compulsory licensing and commercial insurance requirements in accordance with state or local law. Basically, make sure you have all your certifications and all of that in place for what you need in your state. In most areas, you're not going to need extra special stuff, but like New York City and stuff like that, you may need extra something, you know? Auto insurance to help protect you. When you're online with Uber, we maintain auto insurance on your behalf, leading auto insurance providers to help protect you and your riders in the event of a covered accident. Some of the insurances that they're presenting is Farmers, Liberty Mutual, and Progressive. Insurance for ride-sharing drivers using Uber. Offline or the driver app is off. Your chosen personal insurance company and coverages apply. So if they're offline, they're not going to cover you. That actually makes a lot of sense. Available or waiting for a ride request. Uber maintains the following auto insurance on your behalf in case of a covered accident. Third-party liability if your personal auto insurance doesn't apply. $50,000 in bodily injury per person, $100,000 in bodily injury per accident, and $25,000 in property damage per accident. So if you don't have a ride request and your insurance isn't covering it for whatever reason, they will cover up to that. However, if you're waiting for a ride request and you didn't get into an accident, I personally wouldn't even mention that I was waiting for a ride. I would just say, hey, I got into an accident. En route to pick up riders and during trips. Uber maintains the following auto insurance on your behalf in case of a covered accident. $1 million third-party liability, uninsured, underinsured motorist bodily injury and or first-party injury insurance, contingent, comprehensive, and collision up to actual cash value of the car with a $2,500 deductible. So if you have a rider or if you're on your way to pick up a rider, they will cover you in that case. Insurance for delivery people. Offline or the driver app is off. Your chosen personal insurance company and coverages apply. Again, if you're offline, there is nothing to cover. Available or waiting for a delivery request. Uber maintains the following auto insurance on your behalf in case of a covered accident. Third-party liability if your personal auto insurance doesn't apply. $50,000 in bodily injury per person, $100,000 in bodily injury per accident, and $25,000 in property damage per accident. So if you're online but you're waiting for a delivery, you can use that if you're your insurance doesn't cover it. En route to pick up deliveries and during trips. Uber maintains the following auto insurance on your behalf in case of a covered accident. $1 million in third-party liability, contingent, comprehensive, and collision, up to actual cash value of the car with a $25,000 deductible, excluding accidents occurring in New York State. So if you're in New York, you're kind of SOL. Also, keep in mind that there is no uninsured or underinsured motorist bodily injury and or first-party injury insurance when it comes to this. So if you have somebody in the car with you when you shouldn't, they're not going to be covered by Uber. However, I will say this, the fact that they are covering you on the way to pick up a delivery, that's pretty awesome in my opinion. Doordash only covers when you actually have the order in your hand. Terms to know: third-party liability insurance. Insurance for bodily injury and property damage caused to a third party and arising from a covered accident. A third party is someone or something other than yourself or your vehicle. So I'm assuming that is in terms of the opposite side. So let's say you're in a car accident and they got injured. They can cover that. That's assuming it's also your fault though. Uninsured or underinsured motorist bodily injury insurance and first-party injury insurance. Uninsured or underinsured motorist bodily injury coverage ensures injuries to you and your riders if a covered accident occurs during an Uber trip and another driver is at fault and doesn't have sufficient insurance. This insurance also may apply in case of a hit and run. So if they hit you and dip on you, they can actually cover the injury there as well. Medical payments, coverage, MedPay, or personal injury protection, PIP, may apply to healthcare and medical expenses and or funeral expenses if you and your riders are injured in a covered accident, regardless of who is at fault. So don't worry if you get hurt, they actually have insurance, is basically what they're telling you. Now, whether or not they will own up to the idea and actually cover it is a different conversation, but I feel like that's not too surprising either way. Contingent, comprehensive, and collision insurance. As long as you maintain comprehensive and collision coverage on your personal auto insurance, Uber maintains insurance on your behalf that will kick in when online to provide protection for physical damage to your car up to its actual cash value, regardless of who is at fault. There's a $2,500 deductible that you must pay first before this coverage applies. Certain vehicles offered through the vehicle marketplace are subject to a $1,000 deductible, which is kind of high, but did we really expect them to cover the little things? I don't think so. Rideshare and delivery insurance. Although Uber maintains commercial auto insurance on your behalf while you're online on the driver app, expanding your personal auto insurance includes rideshare and delivery insurance coverage could help protect you even more. Some of the insurers in your state will also match your lower personal coverage deductible when you purchase comprehensive and collision coverage, which can get you back on the road quicker. Now, they also list off some coverages that actually apply in this case: Allstate, Farmers, Liberty Mutual, Mercury, Progressive, State Farm, and USAA. I'm not going to go through each and every single one of them because I feel like we don't have time for that in this video. So this article, again, as well as all the other sources, are going to be in the description. But I do want to make one point before moving on to the next point, is that if you look up Uber Eats auto insurance or Doordash auto insurance, you'll see Geico pop up a fair amount of times. Geico does not actually cover you. In fact, I don't even know why Geico is even mentioned in half of these articles, because they don't cover gig workers. And the fact that they keep saying they do is really misleading. And the false advertising is just absurd. Now, this next article that I'm going to be going over is in the event that your insurance is actually not in your name. Let's say you're a college student and you're borrowing your Uncle Barry's car, your parents' car, or whoever really, but you want to drive for Uber Eats. You can obtain an insurance declaration page in order for you to actually use that car, because it's actually kind of important that the insurance is in your name in the eyes of Uber, but sometimes you get an insurance card and it still has your parents' name. How to obtain your insurance declaration page. You may be asked to upload an insurance declaration page if your name is not present on your insurance card. Upload this document alongside your insurance card in the app or on profile on Uber.com website. On the declaration page, you will typically find the following information: the policyholder's name, additional insured driver's names, the policy number, effective and expiration date of the policy term, the year, make, and model, and VIN of the vehicle. That is on a normal insurance card where you're not the primary holder. If you are the primary holder, this isn't important to you, but if you're not the primary holder, you're going to need to get an insurance declaration page. How to get your insurance declaration page? If you don't have your insurance declaration page, there are several ways to acquire this document. You may have received your insurance declaration page in the mail when you first began your policy. Some insurance companies allow you to download this document from their website when you log into your account. You can call your insurance company to obtain this document. You can also call the broker that you have in order to actually do that as well. That's another way you can go about it. Now, I do have some side notes I would like to go over in terms of insurance requirements on Uber Eats and Uber. Must keep updated. Uber is actually very on you when it comes to keeping the insurance cards updated within their app. When your insurance card is about to expire, they're going to send you email after email after email until you actually update it. But they won't accept the updated insurance policy until the date of which it's effective. So again, they're going to hammer you until it actually gets updated. But once it does, you are in the clear. You can get it set up. Yes, you could send a screenshot of the app, but they are not too thrilled about that. So if you can send the physical document to them through a photo, then that's better for them and you. So keep that in mind. Do you need to inform your insurance? Let me put it to you this way. There are a lot of people that don't, but when that happens, that can actually get them tripped up. Because what happens if you do actually get into a car accident with a rider in the car and they don't know that you're driving for Uber? You can end up getting really screwed over in that case. So I would say just get the extra insurance for the sake of your safety and your overall financial safety and not actually get yourself in trouble, you know? Did I miss anything? Is there something else about insurance on Uber and Uber Eats that I have yet to cover in this video? Let me know in the comments. Let's make sure that anybody and everybody knows anything and everything they need to know about proper insurance requirements on Uber Eats and Uber, so that way they can make the most amount of money in the least amount of time in the safest possible way. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. As always, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys next time.